The next fight I want to talk about, the last fight, is the Cornerman Radio Live with Barzini and Boxingeye. Keith Thurman versus Jeff Horn. This is my top 5 fight. This is fireworks for me, in my opinion. I think Jeff Horn and Keith Thurman should fight next, man. The WBO champion versus the WBA and the WBC champion. 3 belts on the line. If anybody deserves Jeff Horn, it's Keith Thurman. If anybody deserves Keith Thurman, is Jeff Horn. And the only reason why I say it is because we all screamed for Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman. If we scream for that, we should be screaming for Jeff Horn and Keith Thurman, because Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao. No matter what y'all said, what y'all think what happened in that fight, Jeff Horn got the win. In black and white, he got the win. So, I love this fight. Jeff Horn was saying a lot of things about Keith Thurman. They saying they will give him the same faith as Manny Pacquiao. Well, Keith Thurman, you've been saying he's irrelevant and he shouldn't be talked about. Well, you should be fighting him your comeback fight. This fight shouldn't have no excuses on not happening. Why does Terence Crawford deserve Jeff Horn than Keith Thurman? If anybody deserves Jeff Horn, it's Keith Thurman. This is the fight I want to see, and I feel like they will give us a fight of the year. And I don't care what nobody say. In my opinion, this is fireworks. I'm surprised everybody ain't talking about this fight. They was all talking about Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman. Now Jeff Horn is the champion. Nobody's talking about Jeff Horn versus Keith Thurman. Why? We talk about Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder for hours and hours and hours, knowing that fight is not happening next or after next. It's not happening no time soon. So if they can talk about fights like that, we can talk about Jeff Horn and Keith Thurman. That's all I got.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, it's because people are looking at Jeff Horn like, and they also putting Bob Arum in the equation. And they're like, all right, that's the main guy you would have to ask and really poke at and be like, yo, would you make that Keith Thurman Jeff Horn fight? Because he'd be the promoter of it. Would Keith want to go to Australia and would Keith really want to go to Australia and have everything against him after what you've seen have, I had Jeff Horn winning the fight too. I didn't score it, but I'm like, damn, he roughed up the shit out of Pacquiao. And the referee was looking at him like, yo, keep banging. Of course, Pacquiao did. He a warrior. But Jeff Horn's sticking elbows down his throat, mushing him against the ropes, just being a bully in there. You know what I mean? Just them roughhouse fucking tactics, that old school shit. And, of course, in Australia, he's going to get that decision. Like, I wasn't even mad about it. I don't know what the big fuss was. So would Keith want that? Keith would have to be on his toes, boxing all night. I'm sure he could be sticking him with uppercuts, but I don't think we talk about it because to us as boxing fans, it's like something in our guts, like it's not realistic. It's not realistic, man. This dude Jeff Horn's fighting someone now, and then also we got to find out, like, maybe if Pacquiao says, man, you know what, fuck it, good job, Jeff Horn, I'm retiring, I had a good career. That's what everybody say. Like, Pacquiao, he might want his revenge. And then there's no Thurman. Thurman's way. That's that shit. Jeff Horn would have to get through Pacquiao again. And then if he gets through Pacquiao, by that time, Crawford.
But remember, all the sanctioning bodies said unification takes precedent than anything. Remember, Manny Pacquiao could have made the rematch. He had it in the contract. Now he doesn't have nothing in the contract anymore. So,
Horn would still take that fight in a second.
Huh?
I said Horn's still going to take the Pacquiao.
But I'm telling you, Keith Thurman is much vulnerable because he ain't fight in 1 year, and he's coming off a surgery. I'd rather have Keith. If I'm Jeff Horn, I would rather fight Keith Thurman his first fight coming back than any other fight.
True.
Because if you get Keith Thurman warm up, then Keith Thurman is going to be more deadlier. I think Jeff Horn should fight him right when he come back, because he's not coming back till March. That's way enough time for Jeff Horn to get back together, get his 8-week camp.
That's a really good point. His
promoter said we can make that fight. Look how big this would be. Earl Spence went to Sheffield, UK to defeat Kell Brook for the title. Look how big it would be if Keith Thurman goes to Australia and Brisbane and beats Jeff Horn. You know how big Earl Spence and Keith Thurman will fucking be? It will. Now you got a pay-per-view fight. Now we got a pay-per-view for the Undisputed Welterweight, bro. And we don't have to wait so long.
It's just a network thing at the moment. That's why we can't wrap our heads around it with it being on ESPN.
Jeff Horn is not signed to any network.
But doesn't he do business with Bob, and Bob does business with ESPN now?
Yeah, he does. He does. He has a couple. What's it?
No, but I'm just saying, who does it? It's funny because
option.
To me, looking on the outside in, Keith has 2 belts, but Jeff Horn has the better cards right now. He's dealt the better cards because he's like, Keith will have to go over there. Bob Aaron's promoting it. You know, he's going to have the promoter. They're going to have the referee, the judges, the hometown. So, and I know Keith wouldn't, it sounds good for Keith, like, damn, if I beat him, it's actually, you know, Keith's probably going to say, probably a tough fight over there, but easier fight than Errol Spence might be. There really ain't no more, there's no easy challenges, and Keith doesn't shy away from tough challenges. You know, he's injured now doing his thing. But it's just like Keith being on ESPN. But I guess now you can do that. I mean, if Keith talks to Al Heyman, and Al Heyman seems like the type of guy like, yo, if you want that, let's do it. Let's make moves. But let's say Jeff Horn, Keith goes over there, boom, it's a mistake, and Horn roughs him up and beats him. Now Jeff Horn's got 3 belts.
No way Jeff Horn beats Keith Thurman. Imagine the ninth. You give that 9th round where Manny Pacquiao was killing Jeff Horn, right? That one round, that 9th round. You think Keith Thurman get the same opportunity with his heavy hands on Jeff Horn like that? He gonna last that 9th round? He will finish.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying. But Keith's coming off injury, like you said. He's had the toughest fight.
He just said Jeff Horn is so easy. We shouldn't even talk about it.
Let's not say Keith is not beatable. Keith fought 24 rounds versus Danny and Porter. How many rounds did he win?
Keith Thurman said
I had him winning 14 rounds combined, losing 10 rounds. So do the math there. He ain't like Keith ain't invisible at all, man. He's one of my favorite fighters, but he ain't invisible. Especially, it's a whole different game too, going to, you know, someone's backyard like that, where he's gonna have the deck stacked against him too, because Bob's gonna be like wanting to shoot. He call all the shots for that shit, because he wants to eventually have Crawford and Jeff Horn.
He still will have options with Keith Thurman, because Crawford will be Terence Crawford will be Keith Thurman mandatory. So either way, Crawford will get a fight no matter what. I'm just saying we can make.
It will throw a curveball in. It'll throw a curveball in everything. It'll throw a curveball.
And it will be easier. We can see an undisputed fighter from now on. Yo, bro, if Keith Thurman was available right now, I bet you that Jeff Horn fight would have happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would have made sense. It would have made so absolutely real sense.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful Keith Thurman is in the position right now. Everybody wants him. Everybody looks at Keith Thurman like he's weak. You got lightweights calling out Keith Thurman like he's some smoke screen or something. They looking at Keith Thurman like he's very vulnerable. He's not hungry. The only person I see Keith Thurman getting up out of the bed and going to train for is a guy like Jeff Horn. And I'm just being honest. This dude will get a super payday for Jeff Horn. He can closely make $6 to $10 million against Jeff Horn. And
I agree with everything.
I'm just speaking.
Yeah. No, I agree with everything you're saying. I just think the only people that have the magic ball to answer that question is Bob Arum and Al Heyman, and you know how that goes. You know, I'm pretty damn sure if Keith heard $6 million, go to Australia. I know Keith, he loves the challenges like that, you know, and I'm pretty sure he would rather fight Jeff Horn than Errol Spence, in my honest opinion.
Or Terence Crawford, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, I mean, we can't put nothing past nobody. You know, what's the biggest shocker we've seen? I'm trying to think where one of Showtime PBC fighters went across the street. We've seen a few T-Club fighters.
You keep thinking, but he's not signed to Bob Arum. He has a whole different promoter. His promoter was the one.
I know that Bob must have got some type of package for that. Because
he has a promotional agreement.
No, but the way
Bob was his next fight is not under Bob Arum.
Yeah, but remember the way Bob was talking after that fight? It was like, are you Manny Pacquiao's longtime promoter or Jeff Horn's new fucking best friend? I'm like, I was listening to them interviews after the fight, and I'm like, God damn, Bob must have this dude Jeff Horn in the bag. He got some plans with this dude.
He just got promotional options. But they will make the Keith Thurman fight. You don't understand how much people think Keith Thurman is weak right now. And I'm just trying to say it's a fight that can be made, in my opinion. If Keith Thurman really wants it and Jeff Horn wants it, they can make that fight. Nobody wants to fight Crawford and Terence or Earl Spence.
Well, Crawford got to get a decent fight at 147 first. Let's not rush him into. I mean, he needs like a Matisse, just something at 147 where he can just warm up, get his feet wet, and then go after the belts again. You know what I mean? I know people just want him to jump right in there, right into the Shark Tank. Keith earned his shot. Keith's got the best resume at 147, the toughest dudes. And you're right. If anybody deserves that shot, but it's like, damn, that shot is in Australia, and there's a lot. I mean, I love the fight.
Those things. You saying those things, but Keith Thurman looking at him like he's weak.
No way. No, trust me.
Bro,
yeah, he might be thinking
he's
weak. It's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different ball game if it's in a neutral area. But yo,
bro,
these people
I'm
gotta
just
understand.
saying, that's what Keith Thurman said. That's what he said, bro.
Hey man, I swear to God,
it's not like I'm.
Keith is a smart dude. Keith's one of the smartest guys in the game, so he knows the deal. It's like the WWF.
I remember even Lou DiBella saying anybody on PBC would eat up Jeff Horn.
Yeah.
That is a complete joke. You know what I'm saying, bro? Everybody look at Jeff Horn and Keith Thurman like there are like some sweetie pies, and I don't look at them like that. We don't look at them like that. But that's what
Jeff Horn? Jeff Horn's got a certain style that works for him in Australia.
But that's
when the referee,
what I'm trying to. But you are the only person. You go on anybody's channel and ask them about Jeff Horn. They don't think highly about Jeff Horn. Me and you are the only people think highly of Jeff Horn.
I think highly of Jeff Horn at his home in Australia with the referee.
But that's what I'm saying. No, but nobody else looks at him that way.
Yeah.
Perception is Jeff Horn is weak. Perception is Danny Garcia can beat him, Sean Porter will beat him, Earl Spence will beat him, Keith Thurman will beat him, Lamont Peterson will beat him. Perception is everybody thinks in the PBC that Jeff Horn is very beatable.
He's rough, man. He's rough and tough. The only dudes we ever seen, the only dudes we could say that went overseas that are now at 147 is Errol Spence and Terence Crawford did it at lightweight, where the chips were stacked against him. And at that time, Ricky Burns was still way better than what we've seen in this last fight. Ricky Burns was way sharper at the time he fought Crawford. I know, people thought Beltran beat him the fight before, but still, I mean, they're probably looking at Jeff Horn and that was a tough fight for Crawford. You know what I'm saying? That was a tough fight. And then Errol Spence, that wasn't. I mean, he really had to break Kell Brook down. So I don't know, man. It's a good fight. I would love to see it. Would I love to see it more than the Errol Spence fight? Maybe, because it's gonna be it's gonna be a big event out there.
For me, I just want to see that fight first, and then we can see the Earl Spence and Keith Thurman, because we will get an undisputed welterweight. That's my thing. If Crawford gets the belt, we're going to play this whole prolonging the inevitable. I don't want to prolong it.
Another thing people need to understand, too, that they're not understanding, that these boxing fans that might be new to the game and they're thirsty and they're going crazy about Keith Thurman and him not fighting Errol Spence right away. Because, listen, man, Keith is a student of the game, and you guys should be a student of the game. Keith's resume is sealed tight right now at 147. All he wants is Errol Spence to fight another tough guy. Now, I know it's hard because Porter don't want to fight him, but, Errol Spence's only tough opponent was Kell Brook. We can't count Chris Algieri or the other dude. Those are like, you add those two together, that's one good name on his resume almost. You stack Kell Brook's resume, you stack Errol Spence's resume versus Thurman's resume, it's almost there for Errol. That's all Keith wants him to do is fight another good fighter, but it's tough because it's like, who's that good fighter out there? Danny don't want to fight him. Spence don't want to fight. He can't fight Crawford yet. It's too early. He can't fight Jeff Horn. But that's the game that Keith is playing, and people aren't understanding that. It's a fucked up game, but it's like a fair. But Keith's looking at it like, what's fair is fair. I got two big names on my resume, and then I got a bunch of good fighters, tough fighters that I fought on the way up there. So to me, I feel like Errol's just got to be patient, and I feel like eventually maybe he can set Sean Porter up in a trap where Sean Porter's forced to fight him, and then when he gets through Sean Porter, then Keith will be willing to fight him. Because let's be honest, that's what Keith wants. Keith wants him to go through a tough fight to wear him down a little bit so he doesn't look like invincible. That's how they want it. That's why Canelo fought Golovkin when he did. So people want.
That's why.
Yeah. It's
that's
not
why.
Fair. I'm just being real with you guys out there.
That's why Earl Spence should fight Lamont Peterson, beat Peterson, fight Sean Porter next, and Keith Thurman to get Jeff Horn first, and then now we have a fight. You know what I mean? Because now they shared a really valuable name, Sean Porter, Kell Brook, Lamont Peterson. That's three hot names for Spence. Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, and Jeff Horn. Yo, you talking about one of the biggest fight in America worldwide, bro. Like this is beautiful. This is talking about a real beautiful fight. Imagine Keith Thurman fights Jeff Horn, Earl Spence fights Sean Porter, and the winners fight each other.
Yeah.
Think about it, bro. Like, yo.
It makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. That'll make Keith happy. You know, I know a lot of people, like we said, man. A lot of people feel, you know, Errol went overseas, beat a tough guy, but that tough guy was broken down. Let's not forget, by a fucking Triple G, and Errol just kind of finished him off. And we saw Kell Brook. We saw that Errol's not invincible because Kell Brook was making it happen in the beginning of that fight. But once Errol Spence just stepped on the gas, it was crazy. Like, he got another, he was like shifted into on some Fast and Furious shit. But that's all. I'm just sorry, man. I'm telling people the truth. This is not what I want. This is what I know Keith. I'm just telling you what Keith Thurman's thinking, because I can picture myself in his shoes. He's thinking, I want this motherfucker Errol Spence to have another hard test. I want to see him look vulnerable, and then bam, then I get in the ring with him. So that's what Anthony Joshua wants to do to Deontay Wilder. That's what Canelo did to Golovkin. This is what's happening in all these big fights. You know what I mean? That's the fucking truth, man. Because Errol Spence is the wolf in the division. He's the, what do we call it? He's the fucking he's a boogeyman. He's a man we all think nobody could beat. That's what Triple G was. That's what a lot of people think Anthony Joshua is. Maybe Deontay. That one's a little different, but you feel what I'm saying, man. Like, Keith Thurman and Errol Spence ain't gonna happen until Errol gets a tough fight. I don't know who the fuck it's gonna be. Sean Porter is the only one that looks like can make it happen for us. So if everybody wants to see Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman, you need to start focusing on Sean Porter and telling Sean Porter, fucking fight Errol Spence. And then you can ask Keith Thurman to fight Spence. And that's my honest opinion, and that's all I got to say.
It's the Cornerman Radio. We out.